the big ones, the really big ones. Your parents abandoned you. Your spouse committed adultery. Your business partner swindled you and stole your business away. I mean, friends, for example, your uncle beat you up. Your stepdad molested you. These are the big, serious hurts. And I'm telling you, life is unfair. Sometimes when somebody's crying in front of me and says, "Bo, life is unfair, life is unfair." And the expectation is for me, a preacher, to say, "Oh, hindi naman." But I'm telling you, yes, I totally agree. Life is unfair. Bad things happen to good people. Life is unfair. Let's face it, let's admit it, it happens. But we also have to say this, that even if life is unfair, God remains good. And at the end of the day, God will right your wrongs. And please hold on to that promise. Whether it happens in this life or in the next life, God is still good and He will right your wrongs. Do I hear a loud amen? Brother Bo, why is it that evil happens in this world? Look around you, there's evil that's happening. Look around you, there's a Hitler. And why are there big Hitlers and why there's a small Hitler in world history? Why? Ask me why. Because hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. The evilest person in the world was once upon a time an innocent child that was not loved. And when a child is not loved, that is the breeding ground for evil. And I pray that if you have a child in your house, make that child know that he or she is loved. And anytime you see a child, I was in a family camp with the Catholic Philippine Academy, our homeschool organization, for 2 days, yesterday and the other day, and I was with a bunch of kids, all homeschooled. And every time I see a child, I'll always try to do eye contact, and I'll always try to say, "You're loved, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're glorious, you're fantastic." I wanted to utilize every single moment I have with children just to tell them you're loved, because when we were children, we need to receive that message that we're very valued and very loved. The second type of hurts are small ones. Everybody say small. Small hurts are done not because they're done by people, yes, but they're done not because they're evil. They're done because people are people. People are people. They're done not out of malice. They're done not because they're bad people. No. Married people, raise your hand. Married people, you know this. You hurt your spouse hurts you, and it's not because the other person is bad. Your husband forgets your anniversary. My gosh, that hurts. That is the unforgivable crime. But listen to me, wives. When your husband does that, it's not because he's bad. It's because he's a guy. Now I know, women there are in the audience will say, "Whoosh!" Yeah, I know. I'm the bad speaker here because I'm a guy. But the point I'm driving at, it's he does it because, guys in the audience, how many of you forgot an important date with your spouse? Raise your hand, guys. You need to go to confession, There are very few guys raising their hands right now. But it's not, there are times when I go home and my wife is pouting and she says, "Do you remember something?" And I panic right there. I panic. I said, "Oh my gosh, what did I forget? What did I forget? Birthday, anniversaries." And I just lose it. Now, not because I'm bad, but because I'm a human being. Sometimes I get so focused in work, I forget the important things. And when you're supposed to, when you get these small hurts, you should have the ability. Everybody say ability. Ability to brush it off. Yes or no? They're small hurts and they'll happen again and again and again. They'll happen constantly. That'll happen again and again. You need to have the ability to move on. You need to have the ability to let go. And then, of course, you got the third kind of hurt. The third kind of hurt is what I call self-hurts. Everybody say self. So the first one is serious. What's the second one? Small. And the third one are self-hurts. I'm going to say it again. Most of the hurts that we complain about, most of them are self-inflicted. We hurt ourselves. Now listen to me. I'm preaching to myself. I'm preaching to everyone. All of us. We have this tendency to hurt ourselves. There are two kinds. How many? Two kinds of self-hurts, self-inflicted hurts. Number one, when we repeat our mistakes. Everybody say that. When we repeat our mistakes, and mistakes are normal. Mistakes, in fact, are necessary to progress in life. But there's a difference between winners and losers. Winners, they make brand new mistakes every day. Losers, they make the same old exact mistakes every single day. That's why they're losers. But you see, that's the point. And what I'm going to share with you is, think about it. There are women, they're actually, can I tell you a story? There were two friends. One of them had two bandaged ears and both hands bandaged as well. And the other guy says to his friend, "What happened to you?" And the guy said, "This is embarrassing. I don't want to share this, but, well, now that you're asking, I was ironing this morning, and the cell phone was beside me. And my girlfriend called up, and I made a mistake. And I put and the friend said, 'Oh gosh, ouch! But wait a minute, why both ears? What happened to the other ear?' My girlfriend called again, and I did. Oh, gosh, you're nuts. But wait a minute. Why the hands? Well, of course I had two burned ears, and I told myself I'll never pick up the phone anymore. So I texted her. Okay, that was supposed to fly, but it didn't. And can you explain to the person beside you what actually happened? No, you can't. Okay, never mind. He got the iron and he texted. Never mind. Okay. I'll tell you a real story. I would talk to women, single women, and then they would tell me, this is what I noticed. They would share to me their different boyfriends that they went through in life, and then I just scratch my head and I say, why is it that a guy has to be a jerk to become a boyfriend? Why? There are some women who just go from one jerk to another jerk to another jerk. And then I remember talking to one young woman, and I said, you know what? Don't you know this? Boyfriend number 2 is exactly the same as boyfriend number 1. It's like copy paste, and then she's in denial and she says, no, brother, they're different. And I said, well, yeah, they're a little different, Boyfriend number 1 is irresponsible and unfaithful. Boyfriend number 2 is unfaithful and irresponsible. Do you know why that happens? Ask me why. Because we do not get what we deserve. We get what we think we deserve. I hope you got that. That's big right there. Can you take a picture and write it down? And that is big. The reason why people are stuck in their lives is because they think they're garbage. And because they think they're garbage, they will only connect with another garbage person. Make sense? But if you believe you're gold, then you will only accept gold. Tell somebody beside you, you're gold. You deserve gold. You don't deserve garbage. I want you to put your hands over your chest and just say this after me. I'm blessed. I'm a child of God. Blessings are flowing into my life. Am I speaking to somebody here? I want you to make that decision in your life that right now you deserve. You know, everybody say that. I deserve to be blessed because I'm a child of God. The second type of self-inflicted hurts is when we replay our hurts. Everybody say, we replay our hurts. When we don't let go, we were hurt last month. We were hurt 5 months ago. We were hurt 5 years ago. But we rewind it in our minds. We relive it again and we do not want to let go. Am I speaking to somebody here? That when somebody receives a painful text message from a friend, from a spouse, from a mom, from a child, the text message stays in the phone. And then when you want to relive the story, ito pa nga, 3 years ago. You changed phones already, but it's still there. You don't want to let go. You know, I had a classmate once when I was in grade school, and we called him Gali because he had a lot of galis. Kids can be very mean. And he had wounds all over, arms, legs, all over his body, face. One time we were having lunch in the cafeteria and I was talking with him and we were talking and swapping stories. Unbelievable. I saw it. I was talking so animatedly. His fingers were there in his arms and his face and his fingers poking, scratching and digging those wounds. And I said, stop that! And he said, stop what? Dad, what you doing? What am I doing? He was digging and re-digging the wounds. There was already a wound and he would re-wound it. If there's such a thing. He was doing it unconsciously. And there are people like that. They replay, they rewind their old wounds. Something like this.
No, please, no. Help! Help! Somebody help!
What happened?
I was stabbed.
Ice pick or knife?
It's a knife. 4 inches long, stainless steel, made in China.
Oh, I see.
I
I heard somebody shout. What happened?
was walking right here, and a photographer came, and he got my phone, he got my wallet, and he got this. Without warning, he stabbed me.
That's nuts, right? And you might say, Bo, that's comedy. That doesn't happen. It does. Look at somebody beside you. Have you done that? Holding on. And it's crazy. You know, when you replay the thing over and over again, it's there. And can you hold someone's hand beside you? Hold it really hard. Squeeze out some blood. I want you to look at that person and say, move on na. Tell the person, let go. Let go. You know, the thing is, the thing is this. There are people, you know, my wife, she collects Twin Stars stuff. And there are people who collect stamps. Are there stamp collectors here? Meron pa. Toy collectors, doll collectors, coin collectors. There are also hurt collectors. There are. They collect hurts. In the shelf of their imagination, they collect hurt and they display it. And then they look for other hurts. How? They project how they were hurt before. They will look for other hurts and they will collect. They will look for more hurts. Something like this. Let's recall our actors. They came from the hospital.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Don't stab me! Don't stab
Why
me.
do you say that?
She looked like my whole dapper! She looked like my whole dapper! No!
Let's give a big hand. Can you remove your masks? We just want to say thank you to the team for helping me out. Thank you guys. Thank you. Big hand. Wonderful. Wonderful. We replay our old hurts. I hope you got our message. Sometimes maybe it'll be better if I tell you a story. This was eons ago when Light of Jesus was really tiny, maybe 300 people. I remember walking to the prayer meeting, and then a woman, comes up to me, like walks in front of me. I was walking here, and she went right in front of me, and then the first thing she said was, "Brother Bo, you don't love me." Oh, and I'm sorry. And she said, "For 4 prayer meetings, you did not greet me." I'm sorry, it was not intentional. I did not see you. You see, you saw everyone, but you did not see me. I'm invisible to you. Lalim. And the crazy thing was, I was not hurting her, but she was hurting herself. Am I making sense? And the thing was, why was I hurting her? Because once upon a time, maybe her father did not see her. Maybe her father did not value her. Maybe her father, to her father, she was invisible. And any authority figure will hurt her because she will try to project the face of her father to any authority figure. Making sense? And that's what happens sometimes. We begin to collect hurts so that we can prove to the entire world that we're the most hurt person. And there's another woman, she, it was probably 20 years ago. She asked for a meeting, and she was a friend. So I was there, and I still remember, this was 20 years ago, but I still remember what I had. I had in that restaurant, chocolate and ensaymada. I could not eat the ensaymada because for an hour and a half, she began crying in front of me, telling me her woes. And for example, Brother Bo, when my baby was sick, when I was being criticized and I was the topic of the gossip, you did not defend me. On and on for 1 hour and a half, I was just looking at her and looking at my ensaymada. She was just crying, and all I could say was, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." I felt so bad. I felt such a bad person at the end of 1 hour and a half until my friend says, "What happened?" I told the story and she told me, "Ano ka ba? There's something wrong with that woman." Oh man, no? You know what was happening? Her expectation of me was so sky high. I was gonna hurt her no matter what I did. In fact, her expectations of all her friends was incredibly high. You know, she didn't have any close friend. Any close friend that would come. After a while, they would have a conflict and they would fight. Am I making sense to you? What was happening? She set up herself for what? For more hurt. Make sense? She could not avoid getting hurt because it was a setup. She herself made it. She prepared the path. It was all rigged. It was all wired so that she will get hurt. There was this other guy. Not guy. There was this girl. When it's her birthday, she would hold her phone, and then she will just wait for people, specific people. She has a list of people who's supposed to greet her. And at the end of the day, at midnight, if 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 10 people did not greet her, she will feel so bad. They forgot my birthday. But I have this other guy. He's such a wonderful, wonderful man. He's somebody who sets up his life to be happy. When it's his birthday, he calls all his friends. He calls me, "Bo, it's my birthday!" Ako naman, "Uy, thank you." "Happy birthday! Happy birthday!" You know. And he says, "Oh, thank you, Brother Bo, for remembering." And it feels good. It really feels good. But that's my point. The reason why he reminds everybody is because he knows some will forget. And you know what? He knows. People forget, not because they're bad. People forget because they're busy. And it's okay. Can I invite you to stand up? I want you to make a decision now. A decision to set up your life to be happy. Do you want to be happy more often in your life? Make that decision. Before a doctor cures you, the doctor looks and makes a diagnosis, and he looks at your history. That's the title of our talk, history. Look at your history. Look at the history of all your hurts. But Jesus, being the great physician, he looks beyond your history. He looks at your prehistory. And in your prehistory, before original sin, is original innocence. And you're loved by God. And you're beautiful. And you're wonderful. And what Jesus wants to do is he wants to write a new story. He wants to write a new story for your life. Can you change your story? A story filled with hurt. I want you to make a decision now. I'm going to read a scripture passage for you. You know this verse. It's 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. And it says, "Anyone who is joined to Christ is a new being. The old is gone. The new has come." Put your hand over your chest with me. Everybody say, "Jesus, I'm surrendering to you my old story of hurts. I give that to you. Give me a new story of healing. Father in heaven, I pray for every person in this room that they start moving on from whatever pains that they've gone through in their life. I pray that they'll be able to let go. I pray that they learn to become happy again. Write a new story for them in Jesus' name.
God will always be my strength, nothing less than Christ my Savior. God will always be my hope, nothing more than Christ alone. And this will be my story, and this will be my song. My chains are broken, I am free. And this will be my story, and this will be my song. I'll praise you, my Savior, Jesus. Take my life, but give me Jesus. To know you, God, is what I